Hello guys, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make terrains for your maps. Let's go. Alright guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up your watch, go to your backpack, and press use on your maker pen. Once you've gotten your maker pen, you're going to want to go to your palette, and you're going to want to press shapes. Next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to just want to choose a dirt type or anything like that, and this is going to be the first terrain. And for this terrain, you can choose grass, anything like that. And we're going to choose a pyramid. Once you have your pyramid, you're going to want to make a straight up pyramid and scale it down until it looks like this. Once you've done that, you're going to want to clone it. One to the right, one back, and you're going to want to rotate the one in the back, slant it a little bit. Then what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clone that left. Once you have something that looks like this with two slanted and two normal, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to clone your first one, and you're going to want to clone it above the slanted. Next, you're going to want to clone that one to the right. Once you have done that, you should have this normal terrain right here. After you've done that, you're going to want to go to your maker pen, select every single pyramid. Once you've done that, you're going to want to clone the pyramid in the middle and clone it sideways. You might want to mix them up a bit, rotate them some, just so it looks more like an actual terrain. You can keep on making pyramids, add water, design, anything you want. You can even keep on going and make a hill or a mountain. This is the first type of terrain. Feel free to be creative and do whatever you want with this terrain. On to the next one. Okay, now we're going to focus on the second terrain. This one is going to have a bit more design, and we're going to add some water into it to make it look even cooler. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open up your watch, go to your backpack, and press use on your maker pen. After you've done that, you're going to want to open your palette and go to shapes. Go to materials and choose cardboard or whatever material you want. Then I'm going to choose a gray color. Once I've done this, I'm going to go to my cube and make a pillar-like shape by scaling. Once you've made this pillar-like shape, you're going to want to clone it. Once you've cloned it, you're going to want to rotate it a bit to make it look more jagged. This is going to give it a little bit more design. You want to have a lot of design to make sure it looks really cool and to your best advantage. I like to clone them up, down, and slanted. It helps with any way. You can even make it look cooler by adding some different colors and other things. Do whatever you want. This is your design. Once you have something that at least looks like this, make sure to fill in the spots on the bottom. Then we can scale it to make it fit with the other ones. Once you have something that looks like this, and make sure not to leave too many spaces, but a little bit to make it look kind of real. Once you have something a little jagged that looks like this, you're going to want to go to your watch, shapes, materials, and I recommend doing another cardboard for this, or a carpet. I'm going to go to the third page and choose a color from here. I'm going to choose the purple. After that, you're going to want to choose your cube. Then you're going to want to make a cube and scale it to look like a pad that would fit this pillar. Once you've made it to look like a cube that would fit that pillar, what you're going to want to do is move it onto the pillar. Right on top. And if it doesn't fit, you can scale it even more to make it fit. After you've done that, you're going to want to clone it whichever way your pillars go. For this, I recommend cloning and moving, or, easier, cloning and using the white arrow in the middle. I recommend putting them close together to make it look more realistic. Now you have some paths and some pillars. What you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to select everything right here. and you're going to want to clone it to the side. Now you have 2 pillar walkways. After you've done this, you're going to want to go back to your white pillars. Now that we have our white pillars back, what we're going to want to do is we're going to make more white pillars. Making these pillars is going to make it easier for us to make a cooler structure. Now that I have my first pillar, I'm going to take it and I am going to put it a little bit farther than my other ones. I'm going to move it so the edge of my new pillar is close to the edge of my old pillars. This is going to make a turning effect or a curving effect toward the wall. Once you've done this, you're going to want to clone the white in the middle and keep making until you get to a curving point. Once you're at a curving point, you're going to want to start curving your wall to make it go in a circle around. Now that you have something like this, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start curving it, like I said. Once you're done with your curving, you're going to want to try to make it more jagged like we did with the other ones. Remember, it's your design, you can make it however you want, whatever jags you want, and anything else. So you can have it super jagged, you can do anything that you guys prefer or you guys want to do. Alright, so now you should have your curve inside. Now what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to open back up your maker pen by going to backpack and pressing use on your maker pen. After you've done that, you're going to want to press manipulate on one of the squares in this area. You're going to want to clone them so you can have the same exact square on your other one, on your other pillars. So now, after you have cloned it, you're going to want to move it onto one of the pillars. Once you have it on your pillar, you might need to move it down a little bit, just if it's not fit correctly. And then you're going to want to clone like I did earlier. Also, make sure to fill up the back. It will not look as good if you don't. Alright, so now that you have your path connecting on that side, you're going to want to do it on this side too. Just going to fill in that little space right there. Alright, so now that you have filled in both your paths on each side, check for any spaces like this. You might need to scale or move some things around. Now I should have a path all the way around. After this is where we're going to start adding water. Go to your palette, go to materials, and you're going to want to choose the wood floor material. It gives it a cool watery effect. After that, I like to choose violet or tanzite. I'm going to choose a violet for this. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a hemisphere, or you can use a sphere or cylinder. I'm just going to use a hemisphere because it's a lot easier to show you guys. You're going to want to build a normal hemisphere and rotate it so the flat side is facing up. Once you have done this, I recommend moving it to the middle and then pressing scale on your maker pen. Scale it out until it looks like water is all the way around your terrain. You might need to rotate it around a little bit more just to make sure you have it fully, like that. After this, you can scale the bottom and make it flat. Once you have it like this, you're going to want to open back up your palette and you're going to want to press on ribbon with the same exact color. Now, you're just going to want to place some ribbons going down. I recommend doing about 3 ribbons. Next, you're going to want to move all these ribbons back, and if they're already on the waterfall, that's even better. And you're just want to place them against the wall. So now that I have my ribbons against my wall, I'm going to clone them a bit more so I can have an even more watery effect. Alright, so now that I have my waterfall going all the way down into the water, I'm going to scale it down a bit so it looks like it's going into the water. Once you've scaled it down or moved them down, like a waterfall going into the water, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to start building some pillars. Opening your palette, going to cube, choosing cardboard on your materials, and going back to the original pillar color you chose. Or you can go to clone and clone them from here. I recommend cloning. It's a lot easier, or you can choose the other way. Clone them into the water a little bit, but not fully, so you can still have the waterfall. Once you have made it look like this, or you can make them jagged a little bit, you can start putting in some bubbles for your waterfall. By doing this, you can open your palette and press spear on a white circle. After doing this, you can make a normal circle and scale the bottom and the top to make it flat. By doing this, it will give the top a watery and bubbly effect to make it look more real, like I have here. After that, you can make some more spears and you can make them even more, you can make your waterfall even more designed by making bubble streaks going down the waterfall. Like this, and moving them back into the waterfall. Now this isn't perfect, but if you guys take your time and make sure to work really, really hard, you guys can have something really cool turn out. Now that I have my waterfall and water, we're done. You guys can add some trees up here. You guys can even add a larger waterfall. Just remember to be more creative and work harder every single time. Alright guys, and now we're going to switch to the outro. Alright guys, remember to be creative and work super hard. And make sure, do not forget about the project I did on the last video with the blast. I have my Discord in the description. Thank you, and goodbye.